If you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, I'm back again and it is still Wednesday, March 13th, and now it is 10:29 p.m. Eastern Time. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over the post from yesterday, March 12th. Now, after seeing how many posts there are to go through still and it being 10:30 at night, I don't think I'm going to get caught up with today's post today. I think I'm going to have to tackle today's post tomorrow along with tomorrow's post because I'm getting tired. I look like something the cat dragged in. I was just looking at myself. My hair was all like frizzy like this, so I sprayed on some, what do you call that? It's like oil for your hair, but well, now I look like I went swimming in a vat of oil. Anyway, let's get started. You didn't come to hear that, or did you? If you did, you're really strange. All right, let's get moving here. March 12th. So this is the first one, and it's got a link to a to a tweet rather, and it says, "Do you believe the timing is a coincidence? Stay tuned." Q. Whenever you see that question, do you believe that this is a coincidence or that is a coincidence or whatever is a coincidence? The answer is always no. Anyway. As far as Q goes anyway. Now, let's go take a look at this. All right. It says, this entire conversation is very telling. Sean Hannity, we learned today that those investigations have been ongoing and they're happening and they're real. SC, not sure who that is. That's right. Sean Hannity. And, oh, Sarah Carter. Sorry. Sarah Carter. That's right. Sean Hannity. And there's other things that are about to happen that I know you know. Now, let's listen to what he has to say here. Let's take this back here.
Sarah, we'll start with you because you've been investigating this from day one, is that they don't have anything. And now that we had last Friday, the beginning of the release of all the depositions, we also see a lot of criminal activity. Especially as it relates to the dossier, is at the heart and soul of all of this. And everybody was warned, never verified. Steele hated Trump. Hillary paid for it. The DNC paid for it. The FBI paid for it. The Russian oligarchs paid for it. And Steele doesn't stand by it, so you can't verify it.
Yeah, so think about this, Sean. You just laid it out perfectly. There is absolutely no evidence that we've seen yet. We know Senator Burr's already come out publicly and said if he were to write the report today, he would actually have to write the report stating that there was absolutely no evidence of collusion or conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. But what we've seen over the last 2 years with all the investigations being conducted by Congress, the investigations that I've been on, John Solomon, you've been on, everything that we've reported shows a direct line between Russia and the Hillary Clinton campaign. This is what's so incredible. So if anything needs to be investigated, and not only that, we've not only seen that, we also saw extensive abuse and malfeasance in the FBI, what we're seeing with the FISA documentation. And here you have Adam Schiff, who is so desperate that something come out that he's moving forward with his own investigations with absolutely no criminal evidence of anything. So if anything is going to come out of this, I think right now what we're seeing is that there needs to be a full-fledged investigation by the Department of Justice into what is alleged and believed to be criminal activity.
We learned today,
on Hillary
and I want to get
Clinton's
some
side.
analysis from Pam. We learned today that those investigations have been ongoing, and they're happening, and they're real.
That's right.
And there's other things that are about to happen that I know you know.
Other things about to happen that he knows, she knows. And we know too. We don't know the specifics of what's about to happen, but we do know the general idea. And it's going to be messy, very messy. So timing is not a coincidence. Hannity confirms with Sarah Carter, that they are both aware of what is about to drop. In all probability, they are referring to the sealed to unsealed indictments. the sealed indictments becoming unsealed. Probably that's what they're referring to. We don't know that for sure, but we can surmise and based an educated guess. I guess that's what you would call it, an educated guess. All right, let's go on. Shall we? I think I need a vacation from my vacation. I spent the 2 days with my mom, as many of you know, and it wore me slap out. That woman, she's in her 80s and she goes nonstop. She is a going concern. And then she had a car accident this morning, which I wasn't very happy about. She slid on the ice. It really wasn't her fault, but she slid on black ice, they call it, because you can't tell the difference between the ice and the pavement. The ice, you know, is on the pavement and it looks black. It just looks like pavement, but it's actually ice. So, but she's fine. She's fine. Anyway, let's go on. I don't know why I interjected that. Okay, and here is the next post, and it has a picture. We've seen this before, obviously. It is the FBI chain of command for the mid-year investigation. FBI James Comey, Chief of Staff Jim Rybicki, Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, Mark Giuliano, Lisa Page is over here, Special Counsel, NSB Lead Michael Steinbeck, John Glacione, General Counsel Jim Baker. A lot of people up here, these people are gone. Bye-bye. So I think most of us are aware of this chain of command. And let me see here. This is justice.gov file. Let me see what this is. This is the Office of the Inspector General report. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the link to that in the description, the video description, because it's 568 pages, and I don't think that I would have any subscribers left if I embarked on reading that. So let's go back to Q. The Clinton connection. Where are they now? Lisa Barsumian equals Rod Rosenstein's wife. Lisa Barsumian equals she was a representative for Bill Clinton. She's a lawyer. She represented Bill Clinton. Interesting. All these deep state actors have this nice little incestuous relationship, don't they? They all are intermingled through marriage, through this, through that, through one thing or another. They're all connected. Now, let's go to this. Maybe if we can get there. My mind is starting to shut down, and I know some of you are saying, Michelle, your mind has been shut down for a while now. Not sure why I'm so tired. How can an 80-some-year-old woman wear me out? How? I don't know, but she did. Okay, the Assistant DOJ, Rod Rosenstein's conflict of interest, wife represented Clinton in federal court. Shows conflict of interest. DOJ Rod Rosenstein is married to Lisa Barsumian, and Rod Rosenstein was on the prosecution team that fully exonerated Hillary Clinton in the Whitewater scandal. Yeah, how about that? Let me see here. And both Clintons in the Travelgate and Filegate scandals. Shortly after Rod Rosenstein cleared Hillary, his wife represented Bill Clinton in a 1998-99 civil case in federal court. 2017, May 22nd, Lisa Barsumian. Lisa Barsumian is a Washington Freedom of Information Act attorney. She is a protege of R. Craig Lawrence, whose law firm defends clients, all Democrats, against Freedom of Information Act requests. They have represented Hillary Clinton 17 times, Bill Clinton 40 times, Barack Obama 45 times, Robert Mueller 3 times, and on 5 occasions, the FBI. Represented William J. Clinton 98, CV 01459, TPJ 0611, 1998, Pacer accessed May 27, 2017, all rights reserved. So this can be downloaded, and I guess this is, I'm not sure if the downloaded has, oh well, you got to sign up. Never mind that. We know exactly what it is. Oh, here it is down here. And it's the transcript. So it is available, and not sure. I think you have to sign up to download it, which I'm not prepared to do, but here it is. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you the link to that as well so that you can peruse it at your own leisure if you so desire and you want some more information. It's not, it's not expedient for me to, sit here and read all that because I lose people, number one. Not everybody wants that in depth. They want to know what the Q post really means, but they don't want to know the itty gritty and how much lint, someone had in their navel and, how often they clip their toenails. People don't want that stuff. So anyway, Mueller connection to Uranium One and Russia? Yes, obviously, Q's asking this question, so it must be so. Mueller is connected to Uranium One and Russia. And here we've got something else here. It says, the Clinton connection, pay for play, spider web, Q. So let's take a look. No, let's. Holy mackerel. Well, I don't think I'm going to read this either. I had hoped that because he seemed clearly to be a person who should never have accepted the job of special counsel, that he was recusable. He was not qualified to be the special counsel on anything involving Russia, and certainly not the Trump campaign in Russia. Yet Rod Rosenstein, as the Deputy Attorney General who had been involved in the Russia illegal attempts to gain control of U.S. uranium, and they knew that Russia was committing crimes to try to get to our uranium, and Mueller was the head of the FBI, and he was the head law enforcement person overseeing the operation. There was an informant within the system that was providing information to the Justice Department, to Rosenstein and Mueller, yet they put the kibosh. I love that word, kibosh. I have a friend and we use that word all the time because it's just, we laugh and laugh. Oh, we got to put the kibosh on that. I don't know why, but it is just an awesome word. It's an awesome word. All right, I'm too distracted. I'm getting tired. All right, let me see here. Where did we read kibosh so we can continue on? Yet they put the kibosh on the investigation and the crimes that were being committed to get U.S. uranium. If they had not, then the sale of U.S. uranium that would end up in the hands of Russia would never have been allowed to go through. CFIUS that approves sales that are sensitive to our security, they surely would never have approved the sale if Rosenstein and Mueller had been honest and open that there is an investigation to Russia's illegal attempts to get our uranium. But if they had spoken up about that, I don't think there's any question that the Clinton Foundation would never have gotten $145 million in contributions from people involved with the uranium sale. And it is quite likely that Bill Clinton would never have gotten $500,000 to speak for 20 minutes from Russia. Well, yeah, you can say that again. But I have written an article, 48 pages, entitled Robert Mueller Unmasked. You can go directly to my website. You can go to Sean Hannity's website or others. I wouldn't do it on Google because of their dishonesty when it comes to conservatives, but DuckDuckGo, Bing is not as bad as Google, but look up Robert Mueller Unmasked and download this article. Read it and arrive at your own opinion. This week I found an article I had not seen before by Aaron Moreno back in January of this year entitled Mueller, Rosenstein, and McCabe Exposed, covering Hillary's Uranium One scandal. At the end of the article, they referenced a succinct recitation of things that have occurred. We don't know who this person is. He has used an anonymous name, but here is the thread. He says, as we now know, the DOJ have indicted a Mark Lambert on 11 counts related to his role in a bribery, money laundering, and kickback scheme involving the sale of our uranium that would end up in Russian hands. So they finally indicted somebody over this. There have been others who have been quietly handled, and they are referenced here. And they reference an article here from the New York Post that says, it says, executive charged with bribing Russian officials in uranium deal. There's an indictment in the FBI probe of the Uranium One. Now, this is pretty important stuff, so I kind of hesitate. I don't want to read it all, but scandal in which the Obama administration cleared a business deal that gave a Russian company control of 20% of the U.S. uranium. Background and reminder, from at least 2008, Robert Mueller's FBI were investigating Tenem, the U.S.-based subsidiary of Tenex, a subsidiary of Rosatom, the Kremlin's, Putin's, energy company, the same Rosatom that purchased Uranium One. Tenem was importing Russian uranium into the U.S. Between 2004 to 2014, the local manager, McCumber, engaged with U.S. companies, Transport, Logistics, TL, and Next Gen Security in a racketeering wire fraud, bribery, and money laundering scheme. When a TL insider, William Campbell, blew the whistle on what he was seeing, Mueller's FBI started an investigation that led to at least 4 indictments by holders of DOJ. Remember, the Tenem investigation is related to the Uranium One sale. That's because the Tenem investigation was hidden from Congress and CFIUS, the group that analyzes and approves or disapproves foreign investments in the U.S., who approved the Uranium One sale in October 2010. If either had known about it, it's highly unlikely the Uranium One sale would have been approved. And the more you analyze the Tenem investigation, the more it appears that the Obama administration and or Clinton's deliberately wanted it hidden. Consider William Campbell, the whistleblower. He is the one who was providing information to Mueller's FBI about the illegal acts of Russia. Now, there are times that the witness wants witness protection, wants to be anonymous, and doesn't want anybody to know who he was or who she was, and so for those reasons of the informant's safety, it is not given. But that was not the case. Mueller at the FBI, the DOJ, took a very unusual step. Instead of preventing others from knowing who this person was, they went after William Campbell and made him sign under threat of prosecution, under threat that they would come after and prosecute him, made him sign a non-disclosure agreement. Incredible. They didn't want Rosenstein, who is the U.S. attorney over the investigation. They didn't want Campbell out telling about all the crimes committed in Russia's acquisition of U.S. uranium. They have their own informant sign a non-disclosure agreement under threat so he wouldn't let anybody know about all the criminality surrounding Russia's effort to get our uranium. That doesn't make sense unless you know how much money came into the Clinton Foundation after the deal was approved. This goes on. It says, now consider this, none of the 4 indictments ever saw the light of day. Actually, that is not quite accurate. They just handled it very quietly. It says every one was either quietly settled under plea agreements or dropped entirely as follows. Milkerin, the Tenem manager, was sentenced to 48 months under a plea deal for crimes that had 20-plus year sentences. That was it. That was in United States of America versus Vadim Milkerin, original indictment 11-12-14, conspiracy to interfere with interstate commerce by extortion, forfeiture. Darren Condrey had a plea agreement regarding his violations of anti-bribery and conspiracy laws. Carol Condrey had a plea agreement and her case was dropped. Ruben Hevesky from NextGen had his case settled with a plea agreement. That is astonishing given the charges. This stinks to high heavens. Mueller needs to go ahead and recuse himself and step down, and Rosenstein should do the same. Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time. And this is from the Congressional Record of the House, H3740, April 27, 2018. Leave of absence. By unanimous consent, leave of absence was granted to Mr. Young of Alaska at the request of Mr. of Mr. McCarthy for today on account of medical reasons. Okay, this is just going through the minutes of the meeting, like, you know, who's there, who isn't there. All right, so that's pretty fascinating stuff, if you ask me. I wasn't going to read it, but once I started, I thought, okay, this is just too gobsmacking to stop. So, there you go. The Clinton connection, pay for play, spider web. Now, let's go down because I have this by Die Oppressor Liber from the website Disclosure Italia. Very, very good decode. Good one to follow on Twitter as well. Now, it says Clinton pay-for-play spiderweb is on display. The entire FBI chain of command was corrupted by the Clintons. Not only the FBI chain of command, but also DOJ, second in command, Rod Rosenstein, was corrupted by the Clinton pay-for-play spiderweb. Rod Rosenstein's wife was Bill's attorney. Isn't that cozy? Q attaches the FBI chain of command flowchart. All of the names at the top have been fired due to being corrupted by the Clintons in some form or another. Many of them committed treason. We know Strzok and Page discussed assassination of POTUS. McCabe and Comey likely discussed the same. QAnon also attaches the OIG's review of the DOJ and FBI's action in advance of the 2016 election. Those pages, which have been redacted, will be published once POTUS orders disclosure. I believe this is still in the redacted version. This is still the redacted version. Q also cites to this for 2718 congressional records of discussion regarding Rod Rosenstein and Mueller involvement in Uranium One, and congressmen saying Mueller should have been disqualified from ever being special counsel due to his Uranium One conflict. Both Rod Rosenstein and Mueller were involved in illegal attempts by Russia to gain control of U.S. uranium, and Rod Rosenstein and Mueller knew the DOJ had a secret informant involved providing info to Mueller and Rod Rosenstein about the illegalities of Clinton's securing uranium deal, about the illegalities of Clinton's securing uranium deal with Russia for cash. Mueller and Rod Rosenstein put the kibosh on the investigation. Point is, Mueller was actively covering for Clintons and threatened to prosecute Campbell, Uranium One whistleblower, if he talked about the crimes being committed. Point being, POTUS has had a trump card on Mueller and Rod Rosenstein this whole time. Rod Rosenstein and Mueller are beholden to POTUS. And that is good news, is it not? Because if we had not had POTUS elected when he was elected, can you imagine where this country would be 2 years later? Just imagine. Just imagine. Now, if that doesn't give you nightmares, nothing will. We dodged a bullet. Now, I'm not saying that I know that Trump is 100% on the up and up and he's going to take us into this, bright and glorious future. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that we had no choice. We could not have had Hillary in control. And so far, these 2 years, Trump has done everything he has set out and has told us that he would do. He has done. So, we are very fortunate. All right. Now, this is an interesting little drop here. Has a link to an article, which we're going to go out and read. Actually, let's go read that now. Keeping in mind, as we're about to find out, that this is false news. Just let you know that up front before you start thinking, what? Report. Attorney General Barr gave Mueller permission to indict Trump's 3 adult children and Jared Kushner. Oh, really? You think that's true? A report at The Spectator on Friday claims dirty cop Robert Mueller met with Attorney General Bob Barr, and the two agreed that President Trump's children should be indicted. The report goes on to say that the special counsel Robert Mueller and his 13 angry Democrats also want President Trump to be indicted, but that Barr pushed back on this. Author and attorney Sidney Powell spoke about this during her interview on the Mark Levine show on Fox News. Sidney Powell is an expert of Department of Justice corruption and has followed the career of Democrat hatchet man Andrew Weissmann, who has destroyed thousands of lives during his career as federal prosecutor, only to see his cases overturned years later by Superior Court rulings. Sidney Powell wrote License to Lie, exposing corruption in the Department of Justice after seeing a core group of federal prosecutors break all the rules, make up crimes, hide evidence, and send innocent people to prison in the Enron case. Sidney warned that the report, which will likely be authored by Andrew Weissmann, will destroy Trump. That is the goal, and that is why Democrats are looking forward to its release. Via Cockburn at The Spectator, the story said members of President Trump's family would be charged, but also noted that it is the Department of Justice policy not to indict a sitting president. However, there was no frenzy at the DOJ on Friday, no throng of reporters to make the tourists heading up Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House stop and look. So what happened? Several sources tell Cockburn that the special counsel had indeed completed his report. It is said to recommend indicting 3 of President Trump's children, Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, as well as his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The Attorney General William Barr is said to have silently assented to this. It is also claimed that Mueller wants President Trump himself to be indicted. Barr is said to oppose this. The two men met on Friday, but apparently could not agree, and this was the reason for the delay in any announcement from the DOJ. At least, this is what the sources are saying. So who are these sources? Joseph Heller mocked Washington's and journalism's culture of sources in his novel, Good as Gold. I believe I got that information about you from a reliable unnamed source. I've been doing a lot of work here as an unnamed source, Gold answered with nervousness and haste, so it may have come from me, no truth to it at all. None of Cockburn's sources was in the room, as they say in Washington, for the alleged discussions between Mueller and Barr and their two staffs, and none of the sources was briefed by the people in the room, but they did talk to the people briefed by the people in the room, and twice removed from the original conversations, they all give the same account. It is that the older Trump children and Jared will be indicted for financial crimes while Mueller wants to charge Trump with obstruction of justice. The charges, Cockburn is told now, will not be about Russia collusion. Well, of course they won't be, because there was no Russian collusion now, was there? This is different from the story yesterday, which was that Mueller would make the case for collusion. It is different from what the former CIA director John Brennan said on Lawrence O'Donnell's show on MSNBC this week. He thought that the children would be indicted and, like Cockburn, that it would happen on Friday. So let's go back to Q. It says, sealed indictments, Mueller sealed indictments installed D.C. prior to Rod Rosenstein loss of power. Sealed indictments D.C. blockade last resort installed post Sessions departure and Whitaker assumption. Sealed indictments count D.C. post Sessions departure. Sealed indictment count D.C. pre Whitaker assumption. Power of Barr. Can a sealed indictment be pulled post-filing? Did POTUS just install a rogue AG who allows for the indictment of his children based on false pretenses? No. Barr, Senate vote, 54-45. Do unicorns exist? Q. Interesting. This article by Gateway Pundit is evidently fake by an unknown source. It is claiming... Oops. Sorry. Things like that drive me crazy. I forgot to put the other bracket in there. It is claiming that Barr met with Mueller and gave him the authority to indict Trump kids along with Kushner. This does not make sense. Why would POTUS appoint Barr if he knew he would indict his kids on trumped up charges. Pardon the pun, but the charges are trumped up. And why would he do that? This is obviously fake news and has been planted probably by someone on the Democratic side, I would say. And, Q is saying, do unicorns exist? Well, no, they don't. No, they don't. And so I think he's saying it's as ridiculous to believe that this is true as it is to believe in unicorns. At least that's how I read this. It is ridiculous to conclude that Barr, that POTUS installed Barr, who he knew was going to indict his children on trumped up charges. It's as easy, to believe in that as it is to believe in unicorns. Yeah, it's just as ridiculous. So there you go. That is what I believe that it's saying. If you have any other suggestions or if you think it's saying something different, please put it in the comments below. We do read those. I know a lot of us comb through those. I most certainly do. And I get a lot of information from you guys. And sometimes you guys correct me, and I like that. Don't ever feel that, oh, I better not say this, I better not correct her, whatever. Please do, because then other people see it, and it's good. We want the right information going out there. We want the truth out there. It's not about me being right. I don't care if I'm right. I'd rather be corrected if I'm wrong and get the right information. It's about getting the right information out there. Okay, and then we've got this next one from March 12th, yesterday, and it is a link to a tweet by Representative Doug Collins. So let's go take a look at that. Alrighty. Close some of these. Okay, today the link, dougcollins.house.gov, will be placed in the record so that the American people can read the transcripts of Lisa Page's interviews before the Judiciary Committee. Now, this is quite huge. So let's listen.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Last week on the floor of this chamber, I released the transcript of the interview of Bruce Orr from our investigation into apparent wrongdoing at the FBI and DOJ. At that time, I said there would make additional transcripts from the committee investigation public, and I am here today to keep that promise. As I stated then, our interview transcripts were pertinent to a congressional investigation, but the 115th Congress ended, the investigation was closed, and copies were shared with certain members of Congress. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I request that the link dougcollins.congress.gov/page be placed in the record so the American people can review the transcript of Lisa Page. The American people deserve to know what transpired at the highest echelons of the FBI during the tumultuous time for the Bureau. Out of an abundance of caution, the transcript has a limited number of narrowly tailored redactions related only to confidential sources and methods, non-public information about ongoing investigations, and non-material personal information. I will continue to work to release as many transcripts as possible. The American people deserves transparency, and with that...
And the American people do deserve transparency. Now, unfortunately, because I've been away and I'm trying to get caught up feverishly, I have not had an opportunity to read this. I am going to place the link in the description below so that if you wish to go out and to read this transcript, that you may do so, because some of you may be more interested than others in knowing what it says word for word. I am going to be reviewing it just to see what it says, because I think it will be interesting, but I want to get caught up before I do that. So let's go back. And basically, Q was just wanting us to know that because he just dropped that link and then said Q. So that is the entire message there. Now, all right, now here is the next. Decide for yourself to be free from outside opinion. Decide for yourself. Be objective in your conclusions. Decide for yourself. Be true in your own beliefs. Decide for yourself. Be open to following the facts. Decide for yourself. Be strong in defending your beliefs. Decide for yourself. Be resistant to blindly accepting factless statements. Decide For yourself, be free. Those who attack you, those who mock you, those who call you, those who control you, those who label you, do they represent you? Or do they represent themselves in some form? Mental enslavement. The Great Awakening, freedom of thought, was designed and created not only as a back channel to the public, away from the long-standing mind control of the corrupt and heavily biased media, to endure future events through transparency and regeneration of individual thought, breaking the chains of groupthink, but more importantly, aid in the construction of a vehicle, a ship, that provides the scattered free thinkers with a starter, new social networking platform, which allows for freedom of thought, expression, and patriotism or national pride, the feeling of love, devotion, and a sense of attachment to a homeland and alliance with other citizens who share the same sentiment. When non-dogmatic information, When non-dogmatic information becomes free and transparent, it becomes a threat to those who attempt to control the narrative and or the stable. When you awake, you stand on the outside of the stable, groupthink, collective, and have free thought. Free thought is a philosophical viewpoint which holds that positions regarding truth should be formed on the basis of logic, reason, empiricism, rather than authority, tradition, revelation, or dogma. When you are awake, you are able to clearly see. Sorry, my nose is itching. The choice is yours and yours alone. Trust and put faith in yourself. You are not alone and you are not in the minority. Difficult truths will soon see the light of day. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Now, this is one of the most poignant things Q has ever written. It really is. And I wonder up here when he says, the Great Awakening, freedom of thought, was designed and created not only as a back channel to the public away from the long-standing mind control of the corrupt and heavily biased media to endure future events through transparency and regeneration of individual thought, breaking the chains of groupthink, but more importantly, this is what I'm looking at right here, more importantly, aid in the construction of a vehicle. Now think platform, a vehicle, a ship, a platform that provides these scattered free thinkers, which we all are, with a starter new social networking platform, which allows freedom of thought, expression, patriotism, national pride. So to me, this sounds like on the horizon is a new social networking platform that will allow free speech, will allow free thought, and will allow your thoughts without being heavily censored, especially if those thoughts go against the accepted narrative. There should be a place where we can go and we can be able to discuss freely with others that feel the same or others that do not necessarily feel the same, what we think and believe and why. We have not had that, not recently we have not, because of the deep and profound censorship that we are all experiencing, myself included. You all know that I was demonetized on Facebook, or on Twitter, on YouTube rather, which, I've already explained that. But you know something, part of me in some ways feels relieved because number one, you guys have all stepped up. You've all stepped up and done a wonderful job with making up the difference. And also, I worry less. I worry less because I think, okay, well, you know, they're not. What can they do? I mean, the worst they can do now is kick me off the platform, and so I do try to tread lightly. But on the other hand, I'm just done with that. So anyway, and for those of you that have continually stated you need to get set up on an alternate platform, I agree wholeheartedly, and I'm working on that. So there you go. And I will let you know. I will keep you abreast of everything that's going on, so that you'll know, and that you'll know where to find me. If I do move, or if I do suddenly disappear from YouTube, you're not going to be all dismayed and think, oh, she's gone now. No, I'll just be somewhere else doing the very same thing. So let's go on. Okay, and here is the next one, and it has a collection of tweets by Representative Jim Jordan. Number one, why did Adam Schiff say his talks with Michael Cohen were limited to inviting him and allaying any concerns about threats to his family, but not mention the 14 hours his staff spent prepping Cohen before the hearing? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? And the next one, why did Adam Schiff fail to disclose that he met with Glenn Simpson, whose dossier opposition research was funded by the Clinton campaign in Aspen? Well, that is a good question as well, isn't it? Boy, Jim Jordan's asking a lot of good questions here. Let's go on. Why did Adam Schiff falsely claim in his memo that Bruce Orr hadn't communicated his relationship with Chris Steele to the FBI prior to the 2016 election? Another good question. Things that make you go, why did Adam Schiff try to block Congress from learning that the Clinton campaign paid for the dossier? Well, I don't know. Why did he? Good questions posed by Representative Jim Jordan, who I tend to like more and more as time goes on. And beneath, Q has stated the following: change you can believe in, forward, greater together, betting on America, we don't quit, winning the future, we can't wait, an America economy built to last, Q. Now, I'm a little bit confused here, and I know you're saying, well, what's new? But I don't know where these quotes are coming from. Let me see. I'm going to just stick it into, let me hang on. Copy. Hang with me, people, hang with me. I'm a-coming. I'm getting an answer here. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, Betting on America, that's by O'Reilly Media. Betting on America. Okay, that's Obama's new slogan. Okay, I had a feeling that these were all Obama slogans, but I didn't know for sure, so I wanted to check that out. Let me see. Let's try winning the future. Yada-dum. Let's try this. Oopsie. I don't know. First day with the new hands here. Yes. An 80-some-year-old woman exhausted me, wore me out, wore me slap out. Sad. It's sad, isn't it? It's happening to me. But in her defense, she did go ziplining for her 75th birthday. And I'm trying to talk her into going ziplining with me again, which I probably shouldn't do, but it's just amusing. I love to watch my mother ziplining. She has so much fun. It's just, it shouldn't even be legal to watch her. Like, she giggles like a crazy woman. Okay, winning the future. Newt Gingrich. Well, I don't know. I don't know where all these quotes came from. So there you go. I thought I had researched this thoroughly before I brought it to you, but apparently I didn't. So let's go on. I'll have to find that out. And if I find out something juicy, I'll bring it to you tomorrow. But not too juicy because I don't like it when it gets all over my clothes. Okay. Now, here we go. March 12th. And we've got this picture. Now that Russia collusion is a proven lie, when do the trials for treason begin? And we've seen this meme over and over again, so I didn't really feel a need to go out and make it larger and all that. We've seen it, 3,000 times. Maybe not that many. Now, promises made, promises soon to be kept. Has POTUS made a statement, assertion that didn't end up being proven correct? Not that I'm aware of. Change we can believe in. When they go low, we go high. Let freedom ring. Q. Now, there's a couple things that come to me in taking into consideration these last two drops. Okay, first of all, it brings to mind things that Obama has said. Change we can believe in. And remember, people were saying, "Well, you can keep your change," and things like that. It makes me wonder if Obama's going to be the first. I don't know, but it makes me wonder. And down here, when they're quoting, at least one of those is Obama. I don't know. Change you can believe in. That's definitely Obama. Forward, that's Obama. Or is that Hillary? Anyway, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit further. But this up here, he's showing them in jail. And Q is saying promises made. The promise was to put these guys behind bars, right? And we see all these people. And remember when he asked us to add Brennan, didn't ask us, but he asked the Anons, whoever had done this meme, they said, "Oh, that's great, but you're going to have to put Brennan in there too." So POTUS has made these promises, and the promises are soon to be kept. And Q asks us, has POTUS made a statement or assertion that didn't end up being correct? And to my knowledge, no. So this is, now this, seeing them behind bars, now that's change that we can believe in, right? Not Obama's change. He can keep that change. But this, seeing them behind bars, this is the change we can believe in. When they go low, we go high. Let freedom ring. Q. So I do believe that is the last of the, no, it is not. I lied, not on purpose, but I did lie. So then we have this. The unsealing of the first several indictments will begin about unity and change. Change that we can believe in. Returning power to the people. Returning the rule of law to our land. We stand together. We stand together as patriots. Q. Wonderful. And the next is a very odd little one. And it's got, how many times is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. It's listed 12 times. Every link going to the very, very same YouTube. And the YouTube is the one that we have all seen many, many, many times. And if you have not seen it, please watch it because it's worth it. Now, I can't show it, unfortunately, but it is the one, if you go to YouTube and type into the search, this video will get Donald Trump elected, and you will find it. It's one that starts our movement, and it's very moving. It's a very, very good video, very well done. Unfortunately, it has music behind it, and I don't need any more reasons for them to punish me on YouTube. So, and this is Q+. So we know who Q+ is. This is the president himself that is putting this link in there so many times. And I think he's saying, listen, guys, you need to look at this. You need to learn it. So I do believe, no, I'm wrong. I don't know what is wrong with my nose, but it's itchy, itchy, itchy. Okay, so let's move on here. And here is the next one. It is a link to a Twitter page by 333 RD Revolution. And we're going to go out there. And a good little message for us here. Hannity is a QAnon, Q Army, the Great Awakening, where we go one, we go all, and listen to what he says here. Hang on.
This to come in a two-tier justice system. That's all about to change. Justice, I can tell you and report from my sources tonight, is on the horizon. Stay tuned with us. One law.
So, Q obviously gave us that link for a reason, that little clip of him saying justice is on the horizon. So let's go back. It says, justice, I can tell you and report from my sources tonight, is on the horizon. Now, that's good news because it's even being reported now. You know, and Fox really is the mainstream media, but they really have been more, you know, I guess, sympathetic or empathetic or whatever to the cause. And I believe that Sean Hannity knows probably full well about Q, and well, I know that Sean Hannity knows about Q and has probably talked to the president personally. I do think that he knows exactly what's going on. He may not be privy to everything, certainly not if it's anything that is of national security origin, but I think that he is well versed in what is happening. And I do believe that he has been following the Q movement. I really do. And this is the last one from yesterday, and we will be left then only with the post from today to catch up. It's 11:20 p.m. Eastern time. It's getting a little bit late, and I'm getting a little tired because, like I said, I'm telling you, my 80-some-year-old mother, you know, whipped me. I mean, just wiped me out. So anyway, I will get that caught up for you tomorrow. No, really, I will. Okay, so here we've got this, Q is making a link to this Q, okay, wait. Okay, Q is putting in a past drop of his from the 9th of March, 2019. So that was just 3 days ago. And it has this tweet by Donald Trump. Terrible. Just found out that Obama has had my wires tapped in Trump Tower just before the victory. Nothing found. This is McCarthyism. And here it says, do you believe in coincidences? Q. And it links to another status, Twitter, and we're going to go take a look at that. This was real Donald Trump 3/4/17. Everyone called him crazy. Below is a transcript from Lisa Page. Barack Obama ran a banana republic coup attempt, plain and simple. Hashtag deep state, hashtag Q, hashtag QAnon, hashtag TikTok. And here is the, whoops. What am I doing here? Here is the tweet that we just looked at. And then here it has this, and it's taken from the transcripts of Lisa Page. And it says, Mr. Ratcliffe, let me move on to a text message on September 2nd of 2016. It's a series of texts that you exchanged with Agent Strzok. At one point you text him, yes, because POTUS wants to know everything we are doing. Ms. Page, oh yeah, I don't see where it is, but I know what it is, yeah. So I'm not really sure how this proves anything, but oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense because at that point, Obama would still have been the POTUS. So when I'm thinking POTUS, I'm thinking Trump, but then Obama was still POTUS. So she was saying, yeah, he wanted to know everything we were doing. So he cannot claim, oh, I didn't know that they were doing that. He can't claim that. He knew full well. And yeah, they're all in a lot of trouble. It's all about to come down. the house of cards is about to tumble down. There's a big wind blowing, and it is going to blow those cards everywhere. I think we are going to see things that we will be absolutely in disbelief over. It's going to seem so surreal, and it will. Even those of us that have been following this for a year and a half, I think we're going to be looking at this going, I can't believe this. This is just beyond. We're going to feel like we're living in a dream or something. It's just not going to seem real. I just feel that. But anyway, it's happening. It's happening quickly. And those that are continue to say, oh, you know, Q's just a psyop, no, it's not real, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. So I think they should get more intelligent shills. Honestly, I do. I think that they should employ shills with a little bit of a higher IQ, but maybe that's just me. So that takes us to the end of the tweet, or the drop from yesterday, and brings us right up to date to today. But we're not still up to date because we have to cover today, and I apologize to you, but I'm just too tired to cover it at this point. This is the third video. Tomorrow, I promise you, I will get caught up on the posts from today and whatever posts come tomorrow. If there are no further posts tomorrow, I will bring a Q-related news. So there you are. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe, stay well, and stay blessed. Sleep well, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.